haven't used a normal gaming mouse in over 5 months now. At the end of 2024, I started work on the MM8K, a 20-gram mod kit for the OP18K, which released on March 8th. After the MM8K V1 mod kit sold out in the end of March, I started work on the next generation, the upgraded and well-improved MM8K V2. Since finishing the design of the MM8K V2 in the end of April, I've basically been exclusively playing and using this mouse. With the release of the MM8K V2, the first batch of 100 units, now available over on MightyMouseCustoms.com or link in the description, I wanted to make sure I made some key changes to the overall mouse design and the way the kit was built. I started from the ground up, redesigning the mouse shell to be more user-friendly to a larger variety of grip points, extending the left side of the mouse towards the front and elongating the slant to reach almost the bottom of the mouse. As for the right side, I heard how many people criticized how specific a user's grip would have to be in order to hold the mouse, now making the grip points stretch the entire length of the right side of the mouse. For what you actually get inside the kit, when opening it up, you are greeted with a business card that has a QR code link to both the installation guide and the Mighty Mouse Customs Discord server. Under that is a Ziploc bag with 4 different grip sizes and 4 dot skates, and finally, the shell. Another big issue the V1 had that the V2 improves greatly on is the way the clicks were mounted. For the original MM8K, I opted for a slot-in, friction or tension fit design that was beyond inconsistent. For some kits, being too difficult to put in, and for others having the clicks slide out of their original positions since there wasn't enough friction. That all has been changed with the MM8K V2 now having screw-in clicks, which remove any and all click sliding issues with the original MM8K. The V2 still keeps the perfect click implementation of the original, having no pre and post travel, since mouse 1 and mouse 2 rest directly on the switch itself, providing for what is still the best click feel on any mouse I've used. Another issue users had that was fixed in the MM8K V2 was the extremely poor installation process. Some users had their clicks not being able to go into the shell whatsoever. I wanted to remove any and all differences between units, so opted to print every kit professionally using a method called SLS printing out of PA12 nylon. If you are familiar with the V34 and V35 of the zeromouse, it uses the same printing method. This provides for almost no unit-to-unit difference and allows me to fine-tune exact parts of the mouse for the easiest installation process possible, and an overall amazing feeling mouse. Besides all the upgrades from the V1 to the V2, if you are only discovering this mouse now, you may be asking why. Why make a mouse like this? How can it be comfortable? Why does it have no actual shell? And why, in 2025, are you still using a mouse with a cable? And the answer to all of these questions are relatively simple. To start off, why? When I started making these mouse kits, I chased the lowest weight possible, wanted to see how light I could get a mouse, and see what fingertip gripping a mouse like this would truly be like. Now after using these mice for the past few months, I've come to realize not only are they amazing for gaming, but due to how comfortable they are for me, since they are mostly designed around my grip points. This leads me to my second point, the comfort. When I say 90 if not 95% of my time using my PC over the last 2 months have been exclusively on this mouse, I mean it. It feels amazing to use. There's no tension or pain in my hand or wrist when using this mouse. I do have to mention my hands are on the medium size, 19 by 10 centimeters. So if you do have larger hands, I have heard that the more narrow grip width, being 55mm, have made it more uncomfortable for people with larger hands. I, however, love this grip width. It mirrors grip widths of mice that I've enjoyed using in the past, like the WMouse BeastX Mini. Having that narrow grip width provides me with unbelievable amounts of stability and comfort. And in games, I'm able to make better and more accurate micro adjustments because of it. And of course, the biggest thing people point out and complain about, the cable. Anyone would say, why do you use a cable on a mouse when such good wireless tech exists? It's for a few reasons. The first and most important reason, I just can't feel it. And I don't mean in the sense of, oh, if you aren't paying attention to the cable, you won't notice that it's there. I genuinely mean that when I'm using both the MM8K V2 or swap to a similar 20-gram wireless mod kit of the same shell design, I notice no difference switching to a wireless version of this mouse. If you do only have the stock OP1-8K cable, I can understand how this would be an issue, but using a cable bungee or taping the cable under your monitor solves this issue in some regards. You can also go schizo and strip your cable like Viscose or what my friends Willow did, and that helps a little. The other option, and this is the one I would strongly suggest getting, is an aftermarket cable for makers such as Lethal Gaming Gear when they re-release their cable, or Midori as they have frequent drops for their cable as well. I do plan on making my own cable sometime in the near future, so if you do order an MM8K V2 now, you will get free shipping once the cable does release. For me, there's nothing close to this mouse in terms of in-game use. It isn't my lightest mouse, not even by a mile, with some of my mic kits weighing in at around 15 grams, and one of them without a scroll wheel using the Gilmore mouse PCB being 11 grams. All of those kits plus more are available over on MightyMouseCustoms.com as well. Even those mice don't compare to the performance or feel of the MM8K V2. With the superb click quality, the amazing sensor position, the weight, and the slight front heaviness that comes from not having a battery, aiming on this mouse is like nothing else. In Apex, aim clips on this mouse are like nothing else I've ever had. With a combination of the smoothness and reactivity this mouse provides, I am able to hit some of the best aim clips I have ever had on this mouse. Tracking a player in a long strafe is effortless, and reacting to a player's change in direction is also very easy due to the weight. The target switches on this mouse are also like none I've ever hit before. Even after taking over a 6-month break from playing either BO6 or BF5, I'm still able to hit very snappy clips on this mouse. The lighter weight of this mouse makes it very easy to stop without putting excessive tension in my wrist or down onto the pad, and creates a perfect target switching experience. Even though I didn't spend too much time on this mouse in aim trainers, the effects of it are undoubtable. Juicer QT, a top 10 ranking voltaic benchmarks player, was able to hit a new personal best and #1 score on a scenario first try using this mouse. If that doesn't show the limitless abilities of this mouse, I don't know what would. This is the last of the OP1-8K release mod kits. After this release, I do plan on shifting my focus over to making a full and complete mouse using a PCB recently developed by a well-respected company. I'll have updates on that mouse in the following months, and predicted release for that mouse is around November. Until then, I do have other changes I want to make to a few other kits on Mighty Mouse Customs. I may do very small and limited drops of one of the other kits in the near future. Thank you guys so much for supporting me throughout the last few months of making this mouse and starting Mighty Mouse Customs. I really couldn't have done it without you guys. Until next time, peace.